So you're interested in off-grid living and homesteading. You think it's the right kind of lifestyle for you and your family, but you're worried because at this point, your kids are already indetachable from their screens. And you think all the wide open space and fresh air might be too much of a shock to their systems. Wabam! I have a solution to that. So, let's talk about it. I have nothing against video games, and I think access to the internet is also access to all of human knowledge. All of my kids play video games, and so does Carrie. But have you ever taken a second and sat down and looked at the worlds that they're playing in? These are worlds of endless wonder, where all things are possible. It's no wonder that kids enjoy playing those. Now, have you ever gone to the window, looked outside, just to observe the world that you've created for them to play out there? When we lived back in the city for a couple of years, we lived in a cute little house in a nice little neighborhood. There was even a park right across the street. But one day, Carrie and I were sitting out there just watching the amount of cars that sped by and the people that were walking around the park that didn't look like they should be there, and we realized it wasn't really a good place for them to just go off and explore and have fun and play. Not without really, really close supervision. That time period was also during beginning of 2020 to the end of 2022. So there wasn't a lot of other things for us to go and do with them that fed that adventure that they were looking for out of whatever activity it was that they were doing. So they drew themselves back inside. They started using screens a lot more, and we were worried too. When we decided to move back out here, it was gonna be like this big upset, and we were gonna have to work our kids through the withdrawals of not having the screens as much as they wanted. But because we'd already had the experience out here, we'd made some decisions that really helped with the transition from that back to this. If your kids are like ours, they probably play Roblox, and you may have heard about a little game called Slap Battles, and if not, they basically just walk around this little area slapping each other. But we figured, if they're into that, maybe we should get them all their own pair of boxing gloves so that they can come outside and work the heavy bag. And they love it. Or maybe your kids enjoy playing parkour games, so they spend all their time playing obbies, which is short for obstacle courses, apparently. Well, we got the kids this slackline obstacle course, and they spend hours just bouncing from one thing to the next, racing each other and trying to figure out who has the best route from one side to the other. They have bikes, and they have baseball, and they have pools to swim in the summer. And we're even gonna put in a zip line from that tree way up there all the way to that one over there. You know, for the thrills. Not to mention the fact that this kind of an environment is a kid's natural habitat. They love climbing trees and jumping off of rocks and rolling around in the dirt. And you'd be amazed what they can do when they're bored with a cardboard box if you organize your life in a way where you can let them. You know, the trick isn't to just take their games away from them, make them quit cold turkey. The trick is to make outside better than inside. And you know you've won when they choose to spend just a little bit more time outside rolling in the dirt than they do being inside playing a game that was designed to capture their attention. Since I've been doing this for a while, I know right about now is when somebody is typing into the comments, "Oh, it's such a privilege that you have land, you probably inherited it. How does it feel to have a trust fund?" Or some such comment. We started with less than nothing in our bank account when we bought this property. And over the last 12 years, every penny that we've spent, the property, the interest, the house, the shop, the solar, everything that we've done out here, we've done for less than most people pay to live in an apartment for a couple of years. Now they're deleting that and writing, "Well, land was so much cheaper in 2012. We bought the property right next to us, same size property, same layout, same everything, for half what we paid in 2012, 4 months ago." I'm sorry for being short with you, but I'm getting a little tired of constantly having to handle the objection of "I can't." If you want to do something like this and you think you can't, you're right, and there's nothing I can do to help you. But if you want to do something like this and you even suspect that there's a small, minute possibility that you may potentially be able to do something like this, then I can. I literally wrote 2 whole-ass books about this. How to buy the land with very little money and how to establish your homestead for less than you're paying for whatever it is that you're living in now. And the best part is, I've even made it so that you can go to the link in my bio and download both of those books for whatever you want to pay, even if what you want to pay is nothing. Sorry for yelling. And this is where the rubber meets the road. The real question is, if your kids are habitually stuck to screens, how big of a problem is it? And what are you going to do about it? Setting up a life like this is not that hard. It's not that expensive. In fact, it'll probably save you a lot of money over time. And if you want to be able to set up an outside that's better than the inside, well, you need a little space to do that. So please, let me know if I can help, and I'll catch you in the next one. And get them a dog that they can pretend is a mythical beast to chase them around the property. That's a pro tip.